creepy and cool TikToks that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
I've been gone a week, and there's a lot of news you guys missed. Kamala Harris is considering running for president again in 2028. China discovered a massive new gold reserve estimated to contain over 1,000 tons of gold and worth over $82 billion. The oldest man on the planet died. A petition calling for a new general election in the UK got over 2 million signatures in under 4 days. And keep in mind, any petition that gets over 100,000 signatures is to be debated in Parliament. Israel and Lebanon are reportedly on the verge of agreeing to a ceasefire. I entirely missed the freaking chill guy meme. The Taliban were invited to the UN climate conference for the first time in history. Man City are on their worst losing streak in almost 20 years. Oh, and another wild twist, the Uzbekistan guy sent a video to police saying that he was alive and well, but not coming home anytime soon.
What the Taliban gonna do for climate change?
After the sliding doors of a luxury cruise liner hit this 56-year-old man, he knew exactly what to do next. This is Jim Houseman. Together with his wife, he was taking a round-the-world trip aboard a Holland America luxury cruise liner. After the incident, they initially thought it was just a bump on the head and decided to continue their journey. However, a few days after the cruise ended, Jim's condition got worse. He claims he now suffers from permanent brain damage. So, he decided to sue the cruise liner. The company, doubting his claims, even hired a private detective to follow him and investigate whether he was exaggerating his injuries. But they had no success. So when the case went to court, the judge reviewed all the evidence and ruled in Jim's favor, awarding him $21 million in damages.
You know, they don't pay you that much for a knock on the head. He must have something like serious injuries after the fact to warrant that much money and must be in pain 24/7. Scooby-Doo been trying to tell for a long time.
I'm telling you no. Stop pushing it. I'm being serious here, man. I don't give a shit, man. This guy just takes off his jacket and reveals the parachute. My first instinct was like, this is a joke. I'm not letting you jump. Okay, it's over. My dad died on a hot air balloon accident. I know how dangerous it can be. I am hurt. No, you're not. You're not. You don't. I don't give a shit, man. You have to tell this before we need to ask for permission. Yeah. We're not allowed to do this. We're actually filing a permit and you up. I'm telling you, man. We are actually filing a permit. If we do this illegally, man, we're.
You have it on video. You just tried to stop me.
What?
You have it on video. You just tried to stop me.
I don't care. I can't stop you physically. I'm going down right now.
Yeah. Please.
I was fucking scared. Of course, you know, I'm a pilot and I think I'm a good pilot, but, you know, I'm a human being. And if you're feeling like your safety is in risk and that you don't have like 100% control of the situation, you get nervous. Like my legs were trembling because of the adrenaline of the moment.
That's illegal.
Yeah, but we can decide what we want to do.
So you have to take permit for all this. We're going to be in problem because of you.
Let's wait in the basket. The balloon can go up at uncontrolled rate, which can cause the balloon to collapse. That's what I think.
That was gonna testify against P. Diddy, and he's been posting on TikTok exposing everything.
Wait.
You've definitely seen this video before?
Wait, what?
Jay-Z and Puffy wanted Biggie killed.
Came up, died of guess what?
Wait, he died?
Died, guess what?
No.
Pneumonia.
Of course.
And if you guys don't know,
That's fake.
no, I swear to God.
That's fake.
Yeah. It came up like they found him dead of pneumonia.
There's no way he died.
Diddy's bodyguard. Yeah, the one that was on TikTok exposing him, saying all these stories.
That's right. Just seen a TikTok of him. He's not alive?
Yeah, he just died.
Yo, no, that's so sad.
And if you guys don't know, a whole bunch of celebrities that were tied to Diddy
Yeah.
and that died out of nowhere, they usually died of pneumonia.
Yeah, obviously. That's like that. That's like what's the house one that
It
you
was
told me about?
Brittany Murphy.
Brittany Murphy.
And,
Fans died from pneumonia.
There's another. Remember I was going through all of those different people in the Bad Boy records. Remember?
And it was all
And
pneumonia.
like a lot of them were pneumonia, bro. Crazy.
Oh, why'd they take them out?
Crazy.
I think pneumonia is another word for poison in the industry.
Let me tell y'all a true story, B. So boom, watch this video to the end. Jaden Smith. You're kind of smart, I must say. TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. Let's go.
And we're preparing everybody to go to prison through the schools. Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, the people that are not doing good in the grades, oh, you're doing like this, oh, you go to the detention, da-da-da. There's too many correlations between public schools and prisons.
Great.
The fact that you have the long hallways, the fact that you have a fixed response to authority, the fact that, oh, there's a specific time when you can go outside and play, and then there's a specific time that you can come back in.
That's
and
true.
the way that you're notified with that happening is through the bells. They're subconsciously getting you to have a fixed response to authority and understanding what it's going to be like when you are in prison. It's like, no, when you're here, you have to listen to me. I'm in charge. Now I'm going to pass you off to this next person is in charge when you're doing this.
Stop playing with me, son. Take a look at this picture. Shh. Shut up. Come on.
They're breeding us to go into prison. They're breeding us, or they're breeding us to go to school and learn how to work a 9 to 5 and work to a factory. Like, school was invented for the Industrial Revolution because people were cutting their fingers off in the factories because they couldn't read the instructions.
Stop playing with me, son. Who told you this? Shh. Shut up.
This guy.
Come on.
Put them in school 9 to 5 so they get used to waking up 9 a.m. and then finishing at 5 p.m. They get used to the bells. They have the bells in the factories too. They have the times where you go outside in the factories as well. It's like fixed responses to authority and then fixed scheduling so that you are stuck in this literal system so that you're not a free thinker to where you can be like, oh, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do this. No, you work for this specific corporation that's been breeding you since you were born.
Stop playing with me, son. TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. I didn't say anything. Jaden Smith said it. It's not a game, guys. Do you get it now? You was born to shh. Shut up. That's why the school system was put in place. For you. A plus Z plus 3 to the third power of 8. What the shh? Shut up. I haven't used that since I left school. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game out here, guys. And Jaden Smith told you. But I tell you one thing. If I ever hear somebody tell me a 9 to 5 is better than being an entrepreneur, say that to my face.
Stop playing with me, son. Shh. Shut up. Nah. All right.
Gut health issues, cayenne pepper. Heart health issues, cayenne pepper. Brain health issues,
Cayenne pepper.
For the eyes, cayenne pepper. For the ears, cayenne pepper. For the nasal, cayenne pepper. For the skin, cayenne pepper. For your energy, cayenne pepper. For the circulation, cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper helps with so many things. It's a cleanser and it's a circulatory herb. Cayenne pepper is triggering the body's healing mechanisms. In a way, you could say it's healing the body's healing mechanisms, which is allowing you to heal from almost anything. I believe everything. Cayenne pepper is the king of the herbs. It's the miracle herb. Go through the Recovery House series and get onto the 30-day cayenne pepper challenge. I promise you, cayenne pepper will make a difference in your life. As I've said many times before, it doesn't matter the level of health you're at. If your health is really, really low, it'll bring it back up. If it's quite high, it'll give you that extra boost. Cayenne pepper works when you know how to use it. The Recovery Health series is here to guide you on how to take the cayenne pepper. Go through the videos, message me, DM me. I answer all my comments to help and guide you with the cayenne pepper. Friends, thank you so much. And as I always say, cayenne pepper all day keeps the doctor away.
Black eyes, cayenne pepper. Lazy co-workers, cayenne pepper. Annoying wife, cayenne peppers.
If you tried to look into religion at all, such as the crucifixion.
Uh-oh. The hesitation.
Do you not want to talk about that?
That's awkward. If they don't prove remote viewing could possibly be demonic, I feel like there was the demon saying, Let's not go there.
If we declare war on the cartel, these dudes are not going to understand what the is going on. They are in for a world of like ultra violence they've never actually felt before, because obviously this is a very capable ultra violent organization. They have no clue if we organize these tier 1 units against them.
Is that a real thing that they've proposed doing?
Yes, that is a real thing.
Who proposed that?
I'm almost positive either JD or Trump had said something with the new guy from ICE, like we're going to mobilize tier 1 units against the cartel. The only thing I thought was like, retire. If you guys got some money, man, I would like put that away. Yeah. Like maybe move Jamaica. I don't know, go somewhere. Yeah, buy a restaurant. Like try to go legit, because
go legit,
dude. If those guys are hunting you, you're done.
And it's a weird thing that's going on right at our border.
I get the cartel is huge and powerful, but no way they have a chance against the U.S. military. What do you think?
I am shook. I'm shook. I'm shook. I'm shook. I'm shook. Guys, you will not believe what I just found out. This is how I know that they put stuff in plain sight, and you wouldn't even know that unless you read the Book of Enoch. Disclaimer, I read the Book of Enoch as history, not scripture, and I can tell you why in a whole other video. I want you to look at the Paramount logo. How many stars do you see on there? 22. Right? In the Book of Enoch, there are 250 angels that came down to earth, procreated with mortal women, and created a ravenous species of giant. You're probably like, okay, how does 250 go into 22? There were 22 leaders of the fallen angels listed here by name. Y'all know what they did. We talked about it on my channel, teaching humans heavenly knowledge, like trying to predict the future with astrology, teaching us about makeup, reading, writing, all these things. We were supposed to be childlike on this earth. We were not supposed to be getting into all the stuff that they brought down. When you watch the Paramount intro, you will see the stars floating over the water, aka the deep. And you know, on this channel, we have spoken about the demonic marine kingdom and how in the Bible, the deep could possibly be referencing the darkness, aka the devil, which is why on the new earth there will be no sea, and could be one of the reasons why Jesus walked on water, to show dominion over the ocean. Don't forget the fact that the women that procreated with the angels were cursed to the sea to become sirens. That's a whole other video. Anyway, so you see them floating over the water, referencing them to darkness. And what do? Congregate over this mountain. When the fallen angels came to earth, they landed on a mountain called Mount Hermon. These angels were a third of the angels of heaven because they rebelled against God with Lucifer. A decimal for 1/3 is 33.33. The coordinates for Mount Hermon is 33.33. Y'all tell me this is not mind-blowing. Tell me. They put it right in our faces. Who they serve, what they stand for. This goes to show that television programming, they're programming us, channeling certain visions in our head. It all connects. It all makes sense. I could talk about this all night. Don't get me started. Anyway, make sure you guys like and follow and comment down below.
Just connecting the dot like a boss. But can someone talk about iPhone, aka Apple, use a bit an apple for a logo instead of a regular apple?
People don't realize how much knowledge is actually kept secret in the Vatican archives. 85 kilometers of shelf space, 35,000 volumes of catalogs, logging over 1,200 years worth of records. By 2018, it claimed to hold the equivalent of 180 terabytes of data, said to mainly store documents relating to the Pope, internal accounts of the Church, and other significant historic records. But up until 1881, no one but the Pope's inner circle was even allowed inside, so who knows what's really hidden down there. Even today, the secret archive is not accessible to the public, but only to certain scholars and under the most bizarrely specific conditions that you could imagine. First of all, any living pope needs to have been deceased for over 75 years before any documents collected during his time become available. Then, only academics who undergo a very thorough vetting process are allowed access, and also need to request special permission to anything they want to look at. That can take months and may not always get granted. And even then, they wouldn't be able to just walk through and browse the archives to find what may be of interest. No, you need to specifically request the exact documents that you want to look at without ever stepping inside. Can you see how that might be an issue? 85 kilometers of shelf space. That's 2 marathons and would take the average person about 16 hours to fully walk through. Yet, they're required to request exactly the volumes they want to study from this monumental catalog without actually looking through it. And if we don't know certain volumes even exist, there's no way anyone can ask for it. Meaning, there is a lot of text down there that we will never know about. I'm not saying they're hiding secrets of, I don't know, Atlantis or the end of the world in these archives. Also not completely denying that they might be. But 35,000 volumes is an astronomical amount of information, and if they ever did want to keep something a secret, this would be the best place to hide it.
This is what gives them the right to gatekeep this information. It belongs to the world.
So wild. So this man called Cliff High developed a software program over 20 years ago that scanned the entire internet and analyzed thematic patterns and language that people were using all over the world to predict the future. Cliff High believed in our individual subconscious intuition, but he also believed in our interconnected consciousness that we all draw from whether we're aware of it or not. So using a technique that he called predictive linguistics, he wrote a program that was able to analyze all the keywords and phrases and thematic patterns and assigned them an emotional value. It then uses a formula to gauge our emotional tensions and write a report on events that will happen in the future. Now, these predictions all came with a precondition that Cliff called temporal markers. And that's kind of like a precursor event, like a trigger event that has to happen before the prediction will come true. So the prediction will not happen until or unless the temporal marker or the trigger event happens first. So what did this program predict? Way back in 2009, this is crazy, honestly. The software program reported of a battle in our skies that got chaotic and out of hand between military jets and UFOs, and also, interestingly, UFOs against other UFOs. And this would mark the beginning of an era where non-human intelligence became a part of our everyday reality. And this was all to take place roughly 39 days after the trigger event happened, so after that temporal marker event. And that temporal marker event was Donald Trump being interviewed by Joe Rogan, which just happened the other day and is already the biggest podcast of all time. But let me explain why this is so wild. In 2009, when this prediction was made, Joe Rogan was far from being a household name like he is today. His podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, had its very first episode in December 2009. And back then, it was literally just Joe and a couple of his mates on their webcams in their lounge room. He had hosted Fear Factor, and he was the commentator for the UFC back then, but even then, the UFC was way smaller than what it is today. And Donald Trump being the president was not even in the conversation. In 2009, he was just a real estate mogul and the guy from The Apprentice. This kind of prediction back then was so far out of left field that it was hardly given any further thought by Cliff himself. And now, in 2024, President Donald Trump has just been on the Joe Rogan Experience, the biggest podcast in the world. And at the same time, we have so many military whistleblowers, Harvard lawyers, Stanford scientists, all coming out and saying UFOs and non-human intelligence are very real, and that we, the public, need to be made aware of this before it's potentially catastrophically forced upon us. The world is so crazy, right?
Something tells me 40 days after that interview, I will still have to work the next day.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Kai.
No.
Come. Come.
No.
Can you sit down and listen?
No.
No?
Rocco, go lay down. Yes.
Bailey, are you sad?
Oh.
No.
Hello. Hello.
Ah, that's fake.
Hello.
I love you.
Hello. Yes, you did it.
Hey.
Ha.
Hey.
Ha.
No.
You look like a potato.
Greens go. Going out.
Can you say woo? Wait, can you say woo?
The first dose saying, oh what? The second time being flirty funny was my favorite.
If you
I
can't
think she always looked good, even before the substance. You know, the movie with Demi Moore.
sleep, then you need magnesium, so eat an avocado. If you have low energy, then you need iron, so eat some raisins. If you feel weak, then you need zinc, so eat some dark chocolate. If you have a headache, then you need sodium, so drink some water with pink Himalayan salt. If you feel sad, then you need vitamin D, so get some sunlight.
I just need $1 million.
You ever seen this guy before? His name's Anton LaVey. Anton LaVey is actually the founder of the Church of Satan. Now, Anton actually had a daughter, her name being Zena Shrek. Now, apparently I can't post a picture of Xena on TikTok because it's supposedly low quality. But I just want you to go look at a picture of Xena real quick, okay? And then I want you to look at a picture of Taylor Swift for me. And after you do that, I want you to stay with me here. Now, Xena, right? She was raised within the Church of Satan, right? She was actually the organization's first spokesman defending the church during the 1980s, with this part right here being the most important. She resigned her position in 1990. She severed ties with her father, right? And a religious path eventually led to teaching Tibetan Tantric Buddhism. Now, I just want you to think about this for a second, right? Taylor Swift went from country to pop music. And when her career really started to take off in 2014, she made an album called 1989. Because obviously she was born in 1989, specifically December 13th. And yet Xena left in 1990. I actually found a document on the CIA's website. And I don't want to show that document on a video because I don't want to be issued a violation. So in turn, I'm going to be putting it in the comment section. And then right below that, I'll be posting another document that I highly recommend that you read through after the first document. The second document is from 1981. And it might be able to connect some puzzle pieces for people. But Taylor Swift's father is a person named Scott Swift. Now, Scott actually established the Swift Group, right? It's a financial advisory group that's part of Merrill Lynch. Now, I've known about Merrill Lynch for quite a while, because I know about a lot of individuals that, let's just say, had a really good year in 2008. But did you know in 2006, right, BlackRock acquires Merrill Lynch Investment Management, expanding its retail and international presence. And did you know that Swift actually signed to Big Machine Records in 2005, right, starting as a country singer with the albums Taylor Swift in 2006. And then in 2008, I'm sure we're all aware of what happened in 2008. Amidst the financial crisis, the head of the Federal Reserve Bank in New York asked BlackRock to analyze Bear Stearns' mortgage-backed securities assets and determine their value. And of course, BlackRock at the time played a key advisory role to institutions across the globe seeking to navigate the financial crisis. Now, the BlackRock part might or might not matter. But in 1980, Scott Swift actually joined Merrill Lynch Wealth Management, obviously as a financial advisor, but this part right here being the most important part, right? After using money from his lawn mowing business to buy his first stock. I'm not going to say out loud on the video what his first stock was, but I highly recommend that you read those documents that I posted below in the comments. Or just do that research for yourself because I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist. I'm just trying to connect some dots here, and I wasn't really aware of what I would discover, but I highly recommend that everybody look into a woman named Michelle Lamy.
Xena LaFee is still alive and just did an interview with Jordan Peterson. Her name is Xena Shrek. Look at that. Japan started first, but Japan kills military in Pearl Harbor. America kills civilians in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It is what it is.
And look at this picture. He doesn't look interested in her either. Ooh, what you trying to say, Wendy? I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that, you know, maybe that was staged too. Camilla was performing with that man, Shawn Mendes. They're still trying to make us believe that he's into her. If you know what I'm saying. There's a woman that you know as...
What's that? I don't know.
Huh?
Her name's Dua Lipa.
Yeah.
But you call her Dula Peep.
Dula Peepa.
Her name's Dua Lipa, but you call her Dula Peep.
Dula Peep, I'm sorry. All I'm saying is I'm on your team. She's got a point. She's an icon. She's a legend, and she is the moment. Now, come on now. She passed away? Oh. All right. That's what she said. And you know what? What was that? Okay. What do you think about Dula Peep?
One part two.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying.
That is the origin of the song called Jingle Bells, a one-horse open sleigh by J. Pierpont. It's all about the color with the bells around the necks of the sleigh, so the owners could hear when they were trying to flee. You can visit these bells at the book museum, so it is not a Christmas song for kids. You should read more about James Pierpont. The next time you should think twice before singing this song called Jingle Bells. But when those poor people were trying to flee, and the owners heard the sound coming off the jingle bells, they searched after them on the one-horse open sleigh. Now you know and understand the origin of the song called Jingle Bells on the one-horse open sleigh by Pierpont.
When you Google the origin of Jingle Bells, it says the bells were on horses, so people walking would hear it and not be run over.
Born underground, in a burrow your mom didn't bother digging herself. The first thing you hear is your own squeaking, which doesn't exactly sound intimidating, but don't worry, you'll grow into your attitude soon enough. For now, you're blind, bald, and hungry, with no idea how much of a headache the world is about to become for you, or how much of a headache you'll become for the world. Mom, for her part, doesn't have time for soft moments. She's busy warding off anything that thinks this burrow looks inviting. You're too small to notice her snarling at predators twice her size, but if you could, you'd probably take notes. At this stage, life is simple. You eat, sleep, and occasionally try to bite your mom's tail when she's not looking. It's not a bad setup, but in a few months, things are going to change. By the time you're a few months old, you're starting to tag along with Mom on her daily rounds. She doesn't explain what's happening, you're expected to figure it out on your own. Your first lesson? Bees. Lots of bees. She leads you to a hive and starts ripping it apart like she's owed money. You hang back, mostly because the noise is terrifying, but also because the bees look mad. They swarm her, stinging her face, her paws, her everything, but she doesn't flinch. Why? Because she knows what's inside. Honey and bee larvae. That's the good stuff. Eventually, she grunts at you, which is the honey badger equivalent of saying, "Your turn." You edge closer, swipe at the hive, and immediately regret your life choices when a bee stings your nose. You yelp, fall over, and scramble back. Mom doesn't help. She just keeps eating, like this is all part of the process. And maybe it is. Over time, you get the hang of it. By get the hang of it, I mean you stop crying when the bees sting you and start focusing on the reward. It's not exactly fun, but it's effective. You're learning one of the most important rules of honey badger life. Pain is temporary, snacks are forever. By 6 months, you're starting to venture out on your own. Mom still keeps an eye on you, but she's giving you more space to make mistakes. And mistakes, it turns out, are plentiful. Your first attempt at hunting is laughable. You spot a scorpion and decide it looks slow enough to catch. It isn't. It dodges, stings you on the paw, and scuttles away while you roll around in frustration. The sting doesn't kill you. Honey badgers are famously hard to poison, but it stings enough to make you rethink your approach. Your second attempt is slightly better. This time you go for a lizard sunbathing on a rock. You crouch, wait, and then pounce. The lizard darts away, but you manage to grab its tail. It thrashes, you thrash harder, and somehow, you end up with your first successful kill. It's not much, but it's enough to make you feel invincible. Spoiler, you're not. At about a year old, Mom decides she's done babysitting. One day, she's just gone, leaving you standing in the middle of the savannah with no backup plan. Welcome to independence. Your first solo days are a mix of wins and disasters. You've learned how to scavenge, so you manage to scrape together meals here and there. Small mammals, eggs, and the occasional insect. But you've also learned the hard way that not every fight is worth picking. A particularly bad run-in with a porcupine leaves you limping for days, your pride as bruised as your paw. Slowly, though, you find your rhythm. You stop charging at everything that moves and start figuring out which prey is worth the effort. Scorpions? Sure. Snakes? Absolutely. They're full of protein and, more importantly, don't scare you. Venom? You laugh at venom. Well, not laugh exactly, but you shrug it off like it's a mild inconvenience. One cobra bite later, and you're snoozing under a tree, letting your immune system handle the details. By 2 years old, you've built a reputation that even the savannah's big players respect. You're not exactly a heavyweight. Most predators outweigh you 10 times over. But what you lack in size, you more than make up for in attitude. Lions, leopards, hyenas, they've all learned one important lesson. Messing with you isn't worth the headache. You might not win every fight, but you don't fight to win. You fight to make it unbearable for everyone involved. Take that time you stumbled upon a leopard guarding a fresh kill. Any sensible animal would have walked away. After all, leopards don't share. You, however, looked at the leopard, then looked at the kill, and decided it was your turn. The leopard growled, low and menacing, like it was daring you to take one step closer. So you did. Then it snarled and lunged forward. You lunged back straight at its face. For a moment, it was a game of chicken, except with claws and teeth. The leopard, clearly unamused, took a swipe at you. You dodged and responded with a full-on charge. It hesitated, probably running a quick risk assessment. You were smaller, sure, but the sheer audacity was clearly giving it second thoughts. Finally, it sighed, or something close to it, and slinked off into the bushes, leaving you victorious. You dragged the carcass away like this had been the plan all along. But it's not just the big predators you have to deal with. Sometimes it's a pack of wild dogs sniffing around your dinner, or a cheeky jackal thinking it can sneak past you unnoticed. You don't discriminate when it comes to picking fights, big or small. If something crosses your path and looks like it might be a problem, you're going to make sure it regrets the decision. For most animals, survival is about avoiding conflict. For you, it's about doubling down until everyone else gives up. Not because you're stronger, but because you've decided you are.
As a former honey badger, I can confirm this is true.
I think the most expensive thing you can do is lose hope. Losing hope will cost you far, far more than what it will ever cost you to keep fighting for possibility.
Just don't have hope for dead situations.
Can I make my phone call? Do I have rights? Can I make my phone call?
Who you gonna call?
Huh?
Who you gonna call?
Your mama.
All right, get your ass in the car.
Okay, without that one.
You know, the ha was the perfect setup.
If crypto is going to define the future, I want to be mined, minted, and made in the USA. It's going to be. It's not going to be made anywhere else. And if Bitcoin is going to the moon, as we say, it's going to the moon. I want America to be the nation that leads the way.
This speech by Donald Trump in July marked a 180-degree turn in his thinking on cryptocurrency. 5 years earlier, he had tweeted that he was not a fan of Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, which he said were based on thin air. And he reiterated that skepticism in 2021 when he told Fox Business that Bitcoin just seems like a scam. But following a complete change of heart and his dramatic US election victory last week, crypto assets have surged, with Bitcoin in particular rising from $68,000 on election day to more than $89,000 just a week later. So what exactly might have been behind Trump's dramatic turn? Well, three characters in particular could have had quite a lot to do with it. Firstly, Elon Musk, who gave $75 million to a pro-Trump spending group in the span of just 3 months. He, as we all know, has been a huge crypto advocate. As too has Trump's vice presidential running mate, J.D. Vance, who has a background in tech venture capital. But perhaps the most interesting character is Vivek Ramaswamy. The former Republican presidential candidate has touted crypto as a tool for financial freedom and painted attacks on the industry by the establishment as proof that the elites are stifling innovation and entrepreneurship, ideas that seem to have resonated with Mr. Trump and the Republicans. So just what action could Donald Trump take once he's inaugurated? Well, he's promised to create a strategic Bitcoin stockpile and appoint crypto-friendly regulators. He's also said that one of his first acts as president would be to fire the current chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Gary Gensler, who's led the crackdown on the crypto industry. And with Republicans in control of both the Senate and potentially the House, they could well have the ability to push Mr. Trump's ideas through for him to sign into law.
XRP is the new Bitcoin. If you know, you know. No, this is not true. She doesn't look like this recently.
In Asia, if I give you a gift, you would not open it in front of me because that would be considered greedy, that you had no self-control. You would even put it aside. You wouldn't make a fuss of it. You'd wait till I leave, and then you'd open it. But in America, if I give you a gift and you did that, that would be very rude. You'd be showing no respect.
Yeah.
In America, if I gave you a gift, you would open it in front of me, make a big fuss of it, talk about how much you love it. Right?
Very true.
And so these things are contextual. What's the history of shaking hands? It was to show that I don't have a gun in my hand.
Right.
Basically. When like, sort of clinking glasses, where did that tradition come from? It was to show that the host, when they invited guests to their home, didn't poison your alcohol. Because when we clink glasses, I don't know if you've been to Oktoberfest and seen how Germans do it, right? You're supposed to really do it so that your wine or your beer spills into the other person's cup.
God, I didn't know that. And I did not know that
right.
at all.
And now, of course, we don't do that. We just do a polite, maybe we raise, maybe we clink.
In Indonesia, we don't open gift in front of the giver, but we will thank the person wholeheartedly.
Do you know how much Elon Musk's 3 ex-wives received in their divorces? Number 1. Justine Musk. Although Justine's marriage to Musk lasted for 8 years, she only received $4.2 million and a Tesla sports car in the divorce. And she is the mother of 6 children. What's even more shocking is that Musk was awarded full custody of the children. The media had initially speculated that she would receive tens of millions of dollars in compensation. Number 2, Tallulah Riley. After meeting his second wife, Riley, Musk, a billionaire known for being stingy, gave her 3 rings worth millions of dollars all at once. Although Riley was unwilling to have children, Musk completely respected her decision, and the couple had no children during their 8 years of marriage. In the end, Musk proactively gave her $130 million when they divorced. Number 3, Grimes. Although Musk and Grimes were never married, Grimes, 17 years younger than him, had 3 children for him, one of whom is their most favored son, XAE12. After their breakup, Musk didn't provide any financial compensation. But that doesn't mean he doesn't care about her at all. He still spends money on gifts for Grimes.
I'm sorry, are we glossing over the fact the child's name is XAE12?
There's a part of me that always feels like I'm manipulating somebody. Do you know what I'm talking about?
That's not a feeling.
So what is it? It's a thought?
It's a belief.
It's a belief.
Yeah. No. And there's a reason why you have it.
Like, even if I'm just doing something nice, there's a part of me that's like, oh, you're...
Yeah, you think you're fake.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's called the imposter syndrome.
Okay.
And it has to do with the fact that you couldn't be real as a kid. In some ways, you had to pretend. It's really hard to let go of that sense that I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
It's what you grew up with. So you could be kind to that part of yourself.
Okay.
The part that you could actually, it's not a feeling, you know, Theo, it's a belief. And the beliefs can be, you don't argue with feelings, but beliefs you can challenge. Is it really true that you're manipulating? Like when you're talking to me now, are we having a genuine conversation?
I believe that we are.
Or is it true that you're actually manipulating me in any way at all?
No, I don't think I am.
And furthermore, give me some credit. Maybe you can't manipulate me even if you wanted to. so that
That's very fair, dude.
So that fear of yours is both a lack of compassion towards yourself and a lack of, in a sense, trust in the other person's capacity to look after themselves.
That's a good point.
Humans only have 4 emotions: happy, sad, fear, and anger.
I'm remembering what Ice Spice did. She threw up that sign. She was mocking it. You can tell that a person would mock a prayer when you're doing it with them. Yeah. There's this TikToker famous for going around and praying for people. And he came across a Satanist. And he was like, oh, even if you believe in this, let me just pray for you, right? As soon as the video starts and they hold hands, he released it and he did this.
Bless her in Jesus' name. God, I thank you that you introduced us to her. Jesus, would you just reveal yourself to her in dreams and visions, God? We thank you for this interaction. We bless her and we just ask that you show her that you're the one true Almighty God in Jesus' mighty name.
Play like that.
Amen.
They were breaking down the whole video. It was so crazy because I'm remembering what Ice Spice did
the same shit.
at the end of the Tylil prayer when they were praying. She threw up that sign. She was like dancing and she was mocking it. And a person on TikTok broke it down. That's how they mock it. When Ice Spice was talking to her friend, remember they got into an argument? There was a leaked audio that went out and she was like, blah, blah, blah. Our souls already need to be saved. If anything, our souls. Yeah, because they were talking about how they were getting in conflicts and like her friend like said, oh, you so.
That's sad, bro.
Sad, bro.
It's not worth all of that stuff, bro.
I saw that guy that prays. He cured a man's leg by praying for it.
You guys see the video of that psychic on the Sean Ryan show that went and does remote viewing? And Sean Ryan asked her the question, have you ever seen the crucifixion? And she got silent and she looked terrified. Her eyes were batting right to left, left to right. Did you see that? I want you to hear me and I want you to hear me carefully. Okay? Number one, whenever psychics tap into the spirit, they're tapping in illegally. Okay? They can see in the spirit. They can't see paradise, of course, because God zeroes, that off. But they can see the second heaven. They can see things that go on in the earth realm, things that have already been released that's known in the spirit realm, because the spirit world is a world just like ours. They have access to that information. She did remote viewing, according to that show, and saw the crucifixion. But instead of saying, yeah, I saw the crucifixion, she looked terrified. Her eyes were batting left to right, right to left. Those demons in her understood that what she just saw was their judgment. And they're terrified within her because that was when they were judged.
Say it again.
I used to be in the New Age, and I'm telling you, demons are terrified of Jesus. They're terrified of him because he's superior over them. What you saw, if you didn't see it, go look at the video. In fact, the video is on my page. I've uploaded it twice, I think, from this video, this one I'm just talking about it. But those spirits understood that she saw their judgment. My friends, Jesus Christ is real. And he reigns superior over everything in the demonic kingdom. Amen. Psychics are false prophets. They're knockoff prophets. Yep. God has given many of them the gift, but they took the gift, perverted it, and they use it for the enemy. And that's what a psychic is. Okay? So just ponder these things. If you like content like this, you can always follow for more as always. Now listen, the deadline is about a week or under a week. Okay? My wife and I are doing a 3-day class where we are teaching on the cosmic mysteries of the Bible. Why God created certain constellations, why he's done that. Okay, you do not want to miss this class. All right, we're also going to be teaching about warfare in the second heavens, angelic warfare, and more. To sign up, click the Eventbrite link located in my bio or story. It is not a live class. All right, and if you're on YouTube watching this, if you go to my pinned comment, you'll see it. You'll see the link. You can't click it there, but if you can copy and paste it and put it into the search bar, and it'll take you there. Or if you're on iPhone, you can screenshot and copy and paste it from there. You don't want to miss it, all right? And if you're doing Thanksgiving, you won't miss it. It's pre-recorded, so you can watch anytime you want, as long as YouTube is running. See you there.
Yes, actually watch it. Every time he touches on Christianity, she doesn't respond.
Bank is a river bank because it directs the currency. Money is water. This is why we call it liquidity. Money is moony because the moon is feminine. It's water. The sun is fire, masculine. This is why the tides of the ocean follow where the moon is, because it controls water in your body and on the earth. That's why there's a correlation between the moon and the stock market. The moon affects our emotions and our psychology. That's why we call people a lunatic. A lunar is the moon. If your name is in full capital letters, this is not you. It's the cooperation that you subject yourself to.
What?
You can't charge a natural body, but you can charge a cooperation. You subject yourself to the cooperation. That's why you're called a corpse when you die.
You know why they call
airplanes because they fly in the air over the plane.
Oh my God.
That's called language.
Oh my
sir.
God.
And the boats are not upside down or sideways because it's flat. Duh.
So where's the ending to the water if the water's flat?
The White Beach, Antarctica.
The White Beach?
The White Beach, Antarctica. The blue dome's at the edge.
So if the sun rises over there all the time.
Oh shit. You've been moving on a flat earth your whole life. You just didn't know it, sir. Flat earth gravity.
We're actually on a hill.
Oh my God.
We are on a
the
hill.
The water's flat.
Well,
and the boats are not upside down, sir.
Gravity.
What? No, it's
gravity
like
pulls
it's
us
like
down.
globe bullshit, sir.
Gravity pulls us down.
To the flat earth, yeah.
Yeah.
But nobody's upside down.
You know, I'm getting closer and closer to fully believing in flat earth.
Covered the hole on top of the Sphinx head. This is why the Pope wears the cap, because when you are born, you have a hole in your cranium. As we get older, this hole shuts. We need to open the window to the Most High. We do this by mental and spiritual awareness. Your body is the temple. God does not dwell in temples made by human hands, which is the body. That's why the side of the head's called the temple. And the kingdom of God is within you. You receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you. Spirit means breath, which is the Kundalini energy to open the pineal gland and open the window to the Most High. Just like Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness. Snake is the Kundalini, the wilderness is meditation. Stop taking the Bible literally. It's written in metaphorical code for you to upgrade your consciousness. If God was in the sky, he would have changed this messed up world by now. God is the mind, the creative life spark within you.
Biblical scholar. This is New Age BS. You need to take Bible literally.
Scholars theorize the transfiguration of Jesus also happened at the top of Mount Hermon.
Wow, interesting.
So the theory is that on this mountaintop, God's appearance changed, but he was communicating with Moses and Elijah. How cool would that be if in that moment they were outside the realm of time? And so when Moses was on top of Mount Sinai and Elijah was on top of Mount Carmel, God was directly speaking to them at that moment in the present. But in Moses' time, it would be that present as well. And in Elijah's time, it would be that present.
So wild.
And that's why they knew and had full confidence of the coming of the Messiah, because they directly spoke with Jesus on this mountaintop. Even the disciples that were witnessing this, they saw like, this is the Son of God. This is God.
Yes.
And he's literally talking to Moses and Elijah right now.
Here it is. And he says, as the men were parting from him, Peter said to Jesus, Master, it's not good that we're here. Let us make 3 tents, one for you, Moses, and one for Elijah. Not knowing what he said, as he was saying these things, a cloud came and overshadowed them. And a voice came out of the cloud saying, this is my son, my chosen.
Oof. I give anything to have been an eyewitness to Jesus.
No, it doesn't. It's easy. It's easy to remote view the past, and it's easy to remote view the present because the footprint is there.
Okay.
Now, if you're asking me to remote view the future, I can remote view the future, but the future has a tendency to change. It's not, the footprint isn't there. So it's harder sometimes to read the future than the past and the present.
Okay. Is it mentally exhausting?
Oh my goodness, yes. Yeah.
What does it feel like?
I just couldn't. There were times I just couldn't work. I had done I had found a fugitive, a customs agent that went bad, Charles Jordan. They brought me in on that case. We were having good luck with the hostages, and we were doing some other locational work that I was having success with.
The devil doesn't know the future, only the past.
Yeah, I think that there is. Yeah, and I think that God gives us a lot of free will. And I think that man makes, I think God gives us a lot of free will. And that mankind maybe, just keeps doing what we're doing.
What about extraterrestrials?
Yeah, like I said, I had the
experience.
I had the UFO experience, and whenever I moved into Washington, D.C., I lived in an apartment in Washington, D.C., and I had a woman friend she must have been about 20, 30 years older than me, and I needed to move into Washington, D.C., And so she brought me to this apartment complex where she used to live. And so my sister and I lived in this apartment, and it was small. So one day the landlord said that our neighbors were moving out. We could have the larger apartment, which we took. Well, my girlfriend called me up, my woman friend, and she said, I used to live in that apartment. That's where I used to live. So one night I got a little ring outside, and she said, my friends are here. We want to come up and see the apartment. So she came up, and she said, oh, I used to live here, and this, your bedroom was where the baby's room was.
This woman has demons, fully convinced of that. Pray for her.
Have you ever heard of the Devil's Trampling Ground?
No.
Just off a main road in Chatham County, a 40-foot near-perfect circle. A story that's grown for 3 centuries.
This place is supposedly where the devil goes and visits. It's in North Carolina.
Yeah.
It's this 40-foot circle deep in the woods where no plants can grow, no animals go inside of that circle, and anybody steps in that circle either disappears or they're put out of the circle.
Oh.
Why can't plants grow? The main urban legend is that at night he would walk and scorch the ground.
Yeah.
So people actually go and visit this circle, place tents, and they try to sleep at night. This is what happened. They placed their tents. In the morning, their tents would be moved outside of the circle.
Just teleported over?
I guess.
How big is this circle?
40 feet. It's pretty big. And everybody tried to plant stuff no matter what they plant. Man-made plants, it wouldn't survive. The next day, it would die.
Did they send scientists over to look at it?
No, it's not even urban legend, it's facts. Nothing grows and...
Yo, we should visit.
No, man.
That seems pretty safe.
I don't claim this negative energy.
How did you catch a spy?
I was approached by, after the program ended and I was back at DIA working as an analyst, people would approach me to, can you do this? Can you do that? Because they knew what I did. And sometimes I'd help them, sometimes I wouldn't. But there was one man that really wanted help. So I was helping this man out it was a very sensitive project. And I was helping him. But whatever information I was getting, I don't know what I was getting because I didn't even know what the operation was. So I guess one day I woke up, or when they gave me this project, and I don't know what I said. I identified a guy as, I think, Baker. I said the last name was Baker. Maybe the first name was Jeff. And I said he was Australian. And he was going to sell U.S. secrets. Well, that came out immediately. So Scott came back and he said that was right. But Scott came in, the FBI agent asked Scott to come in on a Sunday to work. They really wanted to work the case, and Scott started to read some message traffic. And he said he doesn't, whatever I said, whatever scenarios I was describing, this information was in this message traffic. And Scott said, I think this guy, his last name was West-Pierre. He was Australian. Scott said, I think this is our guy, that this is the guy we want. He's Australian. And the FBI agent said, no, the person we're looking for is Canadian. And they went back and forth, and Scott kept saying, are you sure he's not Australian? And she said, no, he's Canadian. So Scott said, well, let me look something up, because you can have dual citizenship. And here the guy had dual citizenship. He was Australian and Canadian. And that was the guy that they were able to apprehend.
Wow. The eyes are the window to the soul. If you know, you know.
When I was home in 2016 in Alexandria, Virginia, I was abducted by aliens from my bed. They came, they paralyzed me. I woke up around 4 o'clock in the morning. I was in bed by myself. I was laying back and I couldn't move anything. What I did notice is that my body started turning into particles. Like when you see a video and they have the souls are lifting out of the body, but this time my soul and body, I don't know what it was, but it was turning into particles. And you could see it turning into see-through and getting out of my body. So I'm like, okay. I close my eyes. I open it up again and I'm in a dark room and there's a light on top of me. I'm naked at this time. I'm looking around and I'm like, oh my God, and it's not like I'm looking around like I can move my head. No, I'm literally like this, like barely an inch moving around. And when I finally looked down at my feet like this, there was a white guy in a suit with sunglasses by my left foot. He saw that I woke up. He had sunglasses in the dark room. He saw that I woke up. And you know what he did? He took 2 steps back into the dark. So imagine being in a pitch black room and there's only one light right on top of you. I can't move, and I'm like, so I'm like, okay, I fall back asleep. I don't remember what happened. I wake up. And this time when I wake up, there's an alien right there on my left side, right here. He was standing right here. Like, if I'm laying down, he's standing right here. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? And I'm like looking around, and there's another alien on my right side. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. So then the alien looks at me, and he goes, he leans in, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. He touches me here. As soon as he touched me, he talked to me telepathically. He was like, don't worry, you've been here many times. Stop freaking out. You know what's happening. And I'm like, I'm still shaking, right? He was like, speak telepathically, speak with your minds. Speak with your mind, speak with your mind. And I'm like, so I'm like, what is he talking about? My head, I don't know, my head was racing. Guys, it's creepy. Being abducted by aliens is creepy. And like me, I wasn't really into it. Like, you know, I heard stories and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm like freaking out. And he was like, speak telepathically. Relax, you've done this many times. So I'm like, okay. Finally, I took his advice, right? And mind you, this is all happening in a couple seconds. In my mind, it's feeling like a couple seconds, right? He's still working. He's standing here and he's working somewhere. I don't know what he's doing. I can't see. You know what I mean? Like, I can't move my head this time. I just move my eyes. And so I finally got it that I have to speak telepathically. Okay, I don't know. For some reason, I just knew what to do. And I looked at him in his eyes. And he tells me again, relax. You've been here before. And I'm like, oh my goodness, and I'm still freaking out. And I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, what am I doing here? It's like, what's going on? What's going on? And he goes, relax. You've been here before. You've been here before. Just relax. We're doing our little checkup on you. You know what's going on. Just relax. He touches me again. Guys, when he touches me again, I pass out. When I wake up again, just for a quick second, not a quick second, probably like 5 to 10 seconds, I see him taking off his he had like a suit, but he also had something over his suit. So he took it off, and right in front of me, he literally took off his coat and he cleaned his hands. I don't know if I think he had gloves out at the moment. He cleaned out his hands, and I saw him went like this. And this was looking at me.
Ooh.
And I'm like, okay, like at the moment when I saw his eyes, I was shocked. But and immediately in the same second, I was like, I've been here before. I know exactly what's going on. Like, this is okay. Like, I'm just going to chillax. Like, I'm just going to chillax. Let them do what they have to do. I'm just going to relax and just, you know, I'm going to wake up and this is going to be, you know, all done and over with. Like, obviously I've done this before. Like, let me just relax.
Those are demons, lady. Next time it happen again, you rebuke it in the name of Jesus.
It's really annoying when video game gets interrupted by some DEI woke bullshit, and I'm like, Jesus, I was playing a video game here. Can you just leave the video games alone? You know, you don't want to do things that damage art. So it breaks you out of the story.
As you know, a lot of conservatives and Christians have been blacklisted from Hollywood and Broadway. Would you consider creating an entertainment company to also save art as well as Western civilization?
I enjoy playing video games. People ask me like what my hobbies are. I was like, well, you know, I'm a technology nerd, so I like playing video games. And there should be more people that are making interesting art, whether it's plays, movies, books, that are on the right, because it's overwhelmingly on the left. You have to say, like, where do kids and adults, how do they get informed of what's going on? What moral underpinnings are conveyed in the art that is produced? I hope more people do it.
I bet he's talking about Nero from Diablo 4.
Breaking news, after Elon Musk declares that the people are the media now, as citizen journalism thrives, with data showing trust in the mainstream news collapsing, the new CEO of Axios is going viral, melting down.
Everything we do is under fire. Elon Musk sits on Twitter every day, or X today, saying like, we are the media, you are the media. My message to Elon Musk is, bullshit. You're not the media. You having a blue check mark, a Twitter handle, and 300 words of cleverness doesn't make you a reporter. You don't do that by popping off on Twitter. You don't do that by having an opinion. You do it by doing the hard work. Yeah, come on, so clap everybody. First of all, I gotta say, extraordinary content. It needed to be said. Yeah. It continues.
Join me on X for more updates.
You don't need to have an opinion? What? The nerve.
You see the grizzly bear I posted on my Instagram today?
No, I didn't.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. So people I love this video because it's a camera that's set up and someone put food in front of the camera and a light so that when the grizzly bear walked in, you get video of this thing walking in. So it's like a little cautious and a little skittish, but you get a sense of what it would look like if that thing was like walking up to you. And any illusions,
holy crap,
any illusion that you have that you could somehow survive if that thing wanted to kill you should be instantaneously erased when you see this video.
Crap.
Look at the size of that fucking thing. I mean, look at the fucking size of it. Play that again, because it's so insane. When you see it walking, the immense power of this thing.
It's like a truck.
And this thing can run 40 miles an hour. Like, you're...
Movie to watch. DH.
China is doing great while America is imploding. There's an important lesson in this. Check this out. Let's compare America to China for 1 second. America spent $175 billion on Ukraine. What were the results? Created a whole bunch of enemies, fed a whole bunch of corrupt politicians, and Ukrainian citizens themselves were worse off, not better off. Now to China. China spends only $3.6 billion in Kenya building a railroad system. And they made really strong allies, increased the economy, increased transportation abilities, and having allies with better economies beneficial to China too. 175 billion negative results, 3.6 billion tons of positive results. China cares about its people and builds beautiful, breathtaking cities. Look at American cities. They look like a zombie apocalypse in all of them. Our government does not care about us. America sent $17.9 billion to Israel for an unwinnable war that cost us our alliances, cost us our reputation, cost us everything. Meanwhile, China spends $1 billion in Mexico building a car factory and helps Mexico build their economy and technology and everything. And China's also doing large Belt and Road Initiative projects all over Africa to help them out too. The lesson is that tons of money being spent on war has bad results, while only a little bit of money spent on infrastructure has incredibly good and long-lasting results. America needs to shift over its policies. We need to stop the war machine and focus on building things.
China has helped Indonesia build bullet trains.
Your blood is actually programming your destiny. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, sends chemical messages into your bloodstream. These messages program how your body responds and how your mind perceives the world. Science calls this epigenetics. When you focus on love, gratitude, and abundance, your blood carries healing and empowering signals that activate the genes responsible for growth, vitality, and success. But when you allow fear, anger, or self-doubt to dominate, your blood carries those toxic signals, shutting down the genes that support your health and well-being. It's like installing malware into your system. What you think, feel, and say is shaping the code that runs your life. Speak words of power, think thoughts of possibility, visualize the reality you want to create, and let your blood carry those instructions to every cell in your body.
I believe what you think and say has an effect on your well-being.
In the beginning, God created the heavens, and the earth.
And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And God called the firmament heaven. And God called the firmament
The one who builds his upper chambers in the heavens and has founded his vaulted dome over the earth, praise him, highest heavens, and the waters that are above the heavens. Let them praise the name of the Lord, for he commanded and they were created.
Let me know how you feel about this.
Is anyone else like too aware? Like I'm too aware that this is all temporary, this is all part of the human experience, and that nothing matters, and that everything is subconscious programming, and everything is made up. Like the days of the week, that's made up. Monday, someone decided this day is called Monday, this day is called Tuesday. It's all made up. Like humans made everything up, like money. It's just made up. It doesn't mean anything. Like there are so many different things, like road signs. The street names, like somebody just decided this street is named that name. Like it's so stupid. Like it's really hard for me to live my life and just be a normal person because I'm just too aware. I'm always seeing things from a background perspective. Like I'm seeing everything. I'm seeing through the programming, seeing through the matrix. Does anyone else know what I'm saying, or am I just crazy? Please help me out.
Definitely not alone. It's like waking up to a whole new reality, and it's overwhelming when you think about it too much. The more you start questioning, the harder it gets to just go along with everything. You see the patterns, the programming, the stuff that doesn't make sense. It's like the more aware you get, the more disconnected you feel. But yeah, it's real. Sometimes the more you see, the harder it is to ignore. It's a lot, but you're not the only one feeling this way.
Everything matters. Don't fall into this nihilism.
Are you a bad guy trying to be good, or are you a good guy trying to be bad?
In the Christian faith, we believe that we're all born into sin. We're all sinners. The moment that Adam bit that apple in the Garden of Eden, we all became kind of condemned to sin. And the way Christianity works is it's a decision to accept Christ into your life, to accept Christ into your heart. And so naturally, my nature is a one of sin. And that's all of us. And I believe that it's our job to try to do the right things and to try to walk in the light instead of the darkness. So that's what I meant when I answered that question. I think we are all rotten at the end of the day, trying to do the right things.
That's an amazing answer. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
You are made righteous by God once you become Christian.
Oven incident.
No.
Really?
No, I never heard of it.
Okay, this is big because this was in Halifax, Canada.
Yeah.
Her name was Garisman Kaur, right?
Yeah.
And RP to her and obviously condolences to her family. But this case is so tragic, bro. And it's still kind of going because, okay, I'll just tell you the whole story. So her and her mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's 19 years old, bro. And she and her mom moved to Canada 2 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they both work at Walmart. And one day, her mom and her were on the clock together. And right before the shift ends, her mom tries calling like her daughter, right? Doesn't pick up. Okay, go on for 2 more hours. Let's see, 3 more hours. I'm just gonna wait for a call back. She never calls back. And her mom, at that point, she's like, okay, I'm gonna go through every aisle looking for my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And in Walmart, the reason I call it the Walmart oven incident is because Walmart in the bakery section has these like big ovens that the Walmart employees have to clean.
Yeah.
Right? And the girl that died in this case, she went in there to clean, right?
Oh, shit.
And supposedly, allegedly, the door on the oven closed by itself and she couldn't get out, right?
Yeah.
That's allegedly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So her mom goes and finally finds her in that oven. And everybody's panicking. All the employees start coming. They call emergency.
Yeah.
Obviously, by the time the emergency comes, like, they open the oven and they see her body burned, bro.
Wait, it was on though?
But that's the thing.
How is it on?
This is where it gets tricky, and this is why it's like a really true crime case, low key, because there's so many videos on the internet of Walmart employees saying it's impossible for it to close by itself. You know what I mean? So that
someone had to push it,
and who's controlling the temperature?
Yeah, because why would it be on?
Why
for
would
cleaning?
it be on?
Why would it be on for cleaning?
Yeah, and Walmart hasn't, and everybody's asking for like the footage. Why isn't Walmart releasing the footage?
Damn.
You know what I mean? So I'll show you one video of the oven so you get an idea, right?
So someone's trying to take her out, bro.
That's what people are thinking. So look how big the oven is.
That's an oven?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, that's big.
Yeah.
It's like hotel doors.
So you have to push it to click it.
Yo, that's huge, bro.
And they have to clean that. Boom. So she tries it again. Even if you push it yourself,
You can still open it.
it's like a safety mechanism.
Yes. So somebody trapped in that.
Damn. So that's what people are thinking, because it's like, if it doesn't close by itself, you have to turn it on.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
That's super messed up way to go.
Dog.
And they found it cooked.
Yes.
That's messed up.
That's why I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's a super messed up way to go. May she rest in peace.
I was on a yacht. You're a Christian woman, right? On a boat, listening to music, praying, and there was a song on called "The Face of God." And I said, Lord, in my prayer, I said, Lord, you know, everybody's singing about the face of God. They could see your face, and I want to see your face. And while I was saying, I want to see your face, I heard, turn to your left. I turned to my left. I picked up on my phone, and I went, shh. I didn't turn to my left and look around. I just heard, turn to your left.
What was the picture? Oh my. Sorry guys, for those that you can't see, it is literally a blue sky and it looks like wings.
Well,
and the face.
It looks like a nose.
There's a
to me,
nose. It was the eyes. Hang on.
And he's
Oh
smiling.
my! That is there's a nose, there's lips, and is he wearing shades?
Well,
it's got very
the Bible says we will see like through a mirror darkly, but then face to face.
You know, God just gave him a glimpse of God's glory because of his heart desire.
Jewish names explained, part 3. Nathan and Nathaniel. Nathan in Hebrew is Natan. Natan means he gave. Nathaniel, we just add the word El, which means God, Elohim, and it means God gave. Nathan, Natan, means he gave. Nathaniel means God gave.
Wow. Hey, what about Netanyahu?
Which is a bigger problem in our country, would you say?
Opioids.
Bigger than alcohol.
Oh, for sure.
And compare that to fentanyl.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the problem is people are making fake opioids because they can't afford real ones, or they're just getting them off the street and then they put fentanyl in them. Well, I would just do cocaine. That was really, yeah. So not just, yeah.
That's down and dirty, right?
Yeah.
But you don't anymore?
No, I don't do it anymore, man.
So you're way up with cocaine more than anything else you can think of.
Cocaine will turn you into a damn owl, homie. You know what I'm saying? You'll be out on your own porch, you know? You'll be your own street lamp.
You know what? I think alcohol is way bigger problem than opiates, period. I mean, over here too.
Jet flights are not expensive. You just have to book the right one. We have to bring sometimes the aircraft from one airport to the other one. Our customer needs the aircraft somewhere else, or the aircraft goes for a positioning flight to somewhere for multiple reasons. And exactly those positioning flights we offer as empty legs. We call them empty legs because there's no one inside, and we have to fly them anyways. And those flights you find on all our social media platforms. We have a dedicated web page for that. We have a tool which is really cool on certain airports, departure airports, your specific empty sectors. And you have the same experience as you book a full flight on a private jet.
There you go, folks. If you don't know, now you know. I heard starting from 1,000 pounds.
1899, the Muslims conducted illegal renovations on the Temple Mount and disposed of over 9,000 tons of dirt mixed with invaluable architectural artifacts into the Kidron Valley. What appeared to be wrong turned out to be miraculous. All this material from the Temple Mount is being sifted, and unbelievable discoveries are being made that confirms the Temple Mount is the true location of the original temples.
Yep, they built the mosque on top of the Temple Mount. Zeppelinfeld. Hitler Zeppelinfeld? Zeppelinfeld. I mean, it looks like evil was there.
There is no happiness in marriage. You don't get married to somebody to make you happy. Happiness is an inside job. It isn't my wife's job to create happiness for me. It's my job to be a happy, content person, and that's my gift to her.
But she can create an unhappy environment for you. They generally do that.